Szewczaks. It's me, Maja Szewczak. And welcome to another Idea Sunday. Already August. Already first Sunday of August, 4th of August. Why is the time passing so quickly? It's unbelievable now how far this series has developed into what it is. But anyways, I have this cabochon. This piece of a beet I cut up and the leftover red flower from Rochelle Tropical Swig that I did for 23rd of June. I wanted to use this leftover from it because I almost gave this wig a ponytail, but the two people said no, while one said yes, and it was quite a decision, so I left it up to you with the decision. And that actually turned out looking really good without the red ponytail. I did think about in that project of adding it, but I left it up to you because some people who didn't like this idea thought it would take away from the ladybug. That's supposed to be like the main focus. And for those who hadn't seen it, that's the wig. Now it's quite short, but I can deal with it. And there isn't the red ponytail. I almost put it in, but I didn't, due to mostly people saying no. Don't do that. It will not look good with this ladybug. Like, to be honest, this is the most attention this wig is getting with that thing. If I put something else, it would take away from it. And why did I actually decide on that poll? I don't know, but it ended up like this. But we've talked about it for long enough, but you know where the red flower came from, and we're going to use it in this one, the leftover, because if I don't, it will stay in the Idea Sunday box untouched and unused. And I've also ordered some purple chrome pigments for this project. The purple pigments, I'm still waiting on them to arrive during the time I filmed this. But we're going to think about something for this Idea Sunday. It's a chrome purple pigment that I'm waiting on, because there would be a purple element, a major purple element in this. But the red flower, why? You'll have to watch the video to find out why. besides using the leftovers from a different project that didn't make it. And using cabochons in the Idea Sunday. Keeping the roots of Idea Sunday, but not completely straying off it. Although there is occasional different things being added to the series. Okay, let's start the project. And if I struggle with ideas, I can always just do a brainstorm with Maja Szewczak segment. Okay. Hello! Welcome to Brainstorm with Maja Szewczak. So, the ideas that I was coming up with, well, it's kind of like, have you ever worked with ink with your calligraphy brush and then you spilled the ink all over? That didn't happen, but the brainstorm process was quite like that, because I'm going to show you it right now, because the criteria was for it. Used all the plant pieces, used the pigment that I ordered, as well as the red flower as a decoration and the gray. You'll see it for yourself, but it had to have some element of it looking like a fruit pea stem. And my Szewczaks were going to... Well, at first I was going to do a plum hat, but then the idea stopped on purple ink bottle, and I was going to add a brush that works. Then I came up with the idea of actually sacrificing a purple marker for the ink and make it work. However, it's really tiny. Is it going to work? I will have to try, although it's an inky purple struggle. So, I have a lot of plum markers. However, it's not called plum, it's called vivid purple, but it's a plum purple enough for me. And I have so many and I rarely use it, so I'm okay with using that one. Have so many duplicates but rarely use it. So, and it's close to the pigment color that I ordered anyways. Actually, let's start with the most difficult part, removing the fine tip from this. It's okay, I have a backup vivid purple just in case things go horribly wrong. Hopefully not, but I have a lot of spare ones just in case. Removed it. And I'll try to remove that. And this is where the struggle happens. Trying to remove more of that marker by removing this part. it was like, those are actually so good quality that it's hard to take it apart. It's built to last, actually. So I brute forced it with my teeth, but I didn't swallow any ink, and now I had access to this. Which we're going to do another scary part of it. Cut it up. So, and try to make the fine tip that no longer on this marker work. Oh wow, learning how to take markers apart and learn all the parts of how a marker is made. I've also removed the brush tip just in case this goes horribly wrong. I didn't want to use a rare purple. For this marker brand, I wanted to use something that I have so many of, close to the pigment color that I ordered, and that I don't really use that color very often. So that's why I allowed myself to try it with a marker, which trying such things can be scary to a lot of people. But sometimes it's a way of learning new things on how it's made. Okay, it's spilling out just like ink already. Okay, but how do I make this work into it? Okay, so I have a tip from used glue, and I will use it for the inside of the calligraphy thing for the doll that I'm turning the marker into. And the hands are getting so stained from it. And does it work? Yes, still works. Not as much on the brush one. Good thing I've used the fine one. Oh, that rhymed. Why? Who knows? And now I'll use this bead. I will cut it up a little bit. Or not. Whatever, I'll just push that in. Cannot believe that still works. But anyways, this bead works. However, I have to close it better. I have this wire. Very, very thin. Maybe that's the answer to it. I had to cut up and remove that tip to get the wire on, and now I can get the marker part on. Add wire. Well, I'll now know what part is for what. And how to open up and close this thing. Because there's no teacher-like experience with this. Especially if I ever come up with another crazy idea to take apart a marker for this. To make one for my dolls. Writing with it to test. That still works. Although it will need to fit. However, I still have this to put on it. Like glue it on. But it's a little bit tall. Let me just wash that plum purple off my hands because I now have plum purple hands from doing it. Look, fingers look like plums. I better wash it off before everything else turns into plum looking. That dyed my yellow towel and my sink and my bar of soap plum purple. And it's so hard to remove from my fingers. Wear gloves if you do that. Otherwise you'll end up like this. But for a while it is washable, but it's after fresh from doing that, your hands are like this. It could dry out, so to get this, I will keep it in that while I figure out how to put this in it because I don't want the functionality of this tiny modified marker to affect the scale of dolls needed for this object. So I could probably make it into a leaf and color it green. But first, I'll try to do another thing. Pierce this with a strong needle. I tried piercing that so hard, but I failed. But that's okay. I'll figure out another way to sneak some use into it. On the calligraphy pen for the dolls that I've modified the marker for, to try to fix that problem, I have glued a long strip of fabric to it to see if I could use this in the calligraphy pen that I'm making for the dolls. Now the glue has to dry, and because of its color and I have those green leaves, I would probably make this into a branch while these will be leaves. And to hide all the beads and wire for the calligraphy pen, I've used fabric. It will look different in the end, but that's just part of the process. You'll just have to trust the process. I glued the piece of fabric that was attached to this piece onto the calligraphy pen. It's technically not, but it's for the dolls. Now I will add a plum here to add something that will smoothen the transition. I cut this piece from a flower garland and I'm going to insert it here. Done. Now it needs to dry. I was going to use it for the fake doll ink bottle, but it doesn't work anymore. But I have it on this, which I can just plug in the tip into it and it will work again. See? Just needs that. No need to throw it out. That's why, for the aspect of it working, while I'm not using it, it's in that marker ink bath to ensure it all works and it can be recycled. But anyways, for the ink bottle, I'm going to put pigment in the bottle and on this, just to complete the dollhouse set. And the bottles are going to look really funny. Kind of to add a bit of humor to the way it looks at the end results. Because it was already leaking in that bottle, I may just put this in it. And if it gets stained, it's fine, because that can be the color of the ink as well as the cabochon, and it would be so easily remembered when I will come back to the project another day. However, the red flower is the only part that's not getting the purple ink. It would be for the bottle. So that's what we're doing. Although this isn't really a tutorial, more of like watch me do artwork for like entertainment purposes. But I do learn from these videos a lot of new things, although they aren't really meant to be for tutorials, more for entertainment. And watching those doll videos a lot ended me up in doing my own types of videos for other people to be entertained by them, with miniatures and dollhouse items. Okay, I really wonder how it would turn out at the end and how it will look like with dolls. After it dried, I've colored it brown, then added green leaves and some berries for the plums. Now it has to dry. This project is already getting really messy. Let's just make the ink bottle already. I cut this like that, and that's how deep I want the bottle to be, and that's how I want it to function. And the star is kind of like a reference to the volume of the bottle. But at least we're getting it measured right. The star, however, will need to be glued on. Will need to be glued on, so I could just use it for something that will not only serve as a lid but look like there's ink inside, like a filler to an ink bottle. Although my pigments, I'm still waiting on them to arrive, but it will dry on time. For sure, because that was filmed like a day that's actually a Sunday. Sunday 30th of June, however, waiting on the pigments. Well, doesn't help this project, but fine. For the ink spill, I'm going to put it on the paper, and it will look like an intentional ink spillage, although ink spillages are accidental. They're accidents, but I'll make it look accidental. Although it is an intentional one. Trying to make the ink spill as accidental as possible. Hopefully the pigments will bring that effect even more than that. Would just look like a splatter, and if it does end up like a splatter, that would be a good thing, because I'm trying to make this look accidental, like splatters of ink, like this project was some serious marker modification, but that makes up the thing where you don't have to take it too seriously. Although, add a bit of humor to it, although that's a serious marker modification I've done in this video, you know. It doesn't look like an ink spill, to be honest, but that's fine. I can just make it look like a frozen moment, like the spillage is happening and the moment has been frozen to this. That could work, to be honest. Before applying the pigment that I've ordered, I have done with vivid purple, coloring the base for the pigment. Don't know why. This has such a beautiful golden sparkle to it now. Don't even know how that it's possible. I can see it in person, but the camera's just bringing the gold out of it. Like, the sparkles are so visible on camera. They're still visible in person, but camera's just bringing out the sparkles, the visibility of the sparkles. I don't know what to do now because I like it so much on this thing. Now, this is the part where I really rethink the pigment and what to do with the project and the pigment. What a rather interesting plum marker experience this has been, although I still have to think about the bottle and what to do with the already ordered pigment already waiting to arrive, while enjoying this golden sparkle it has come out of it. I didn't add the golden sparkle, but it's there from the marker. Rather interesting side effect I've got. But anyways, don't know where that side effect comes from. But let's work on the ink spill. I'm going to, before the pigment, do more vivid purple coating, add a base for the frozen moment, ink spill on paper type of thing, because I'm introducing a stop motion animation segment in Idea Sundays now, just because of these ideas coming up. And I think I'll do it underneath this, because ink can actually spill and bleed through pages. So decided to do it in the frozen moment. That would make really good stop motion animations in between frames. I normally do 25 per second, but including frozen moments in them actually helps it feel like there's something going on and it's real, although it's not. And now I'm learning things over glue. The vivid purple marker is doing it a golden sparkle now. So that's where it came from. Don't know how my glue does it, but vivid purple tends to be the marker that adds it in for some reason. The white paper is not taking it in, but the acrylic glue is. There's something interesting in that acrylic glue. I don't know. I think this needs to be studied, why acrylic glue. Plus, this vivid purple marker causes the golden sparkle to be so pretty and to even be in there. Why is this not studied yet? But I must say it is quite interesting to see that coming in especially with the big lights on in the studio. And if I show it at certain angles, it's even more visible on camera than in person. In person visible, but camera brings it up to 100. Like, seriously 100. And this arrived, and that's the exact color for this project. I'm going to mix it with glue, and I'm going to put it on the ink, the spillage, and parts of the bottle. Pastel pink powder, however it's supposed to come out plum, so don't be confused. The eBay listing was like this, and there's still the golden sparkle in it, which, what if I mix this into it? I'm going to apply it. Hopefully this mixes in good, because it looks very, very pink. Although pink is my favorite color, but we'll see if it turns plum chromatic in the end. So it is very pretty, not going to lie. But still, maybe I'll have to wait until it dries to see the results. And I'm coloring a bit of plums in the book. Okay. Because online listings show me that the darker the base, the more effect it's going to have. So I'm testing on darker spots of this artwork. This is a reference to Astrid Fizz, a Litchi Mallow Seafoam Bush Destroyer mystery series that I'm doing. It's coming on like 10th of September 2024. I don't want to spoil it for people that look forward to it. However, I do have to warn you this. A lot of the episodes in that series will have a lot of flashing lights in it as part of the conflict. So, with the flashing lights in it, viewer discretion is advised for Astrid Fizz. And, I mean it's Astrid Fizz, a Litchi Mallow Seafoam Bush Destroyer mystery series that I'm working on. So stay tuned. However, we will also see how this will dry. Pigment itself changes color and angles from green to purple to pink. Maybe that explains the pink color of the pigment. But now my painted ink needs to dry. Then I have checked if it still works. but it doesn't. It has dried, but I could still use another vivid purple to bring the juice of the marker back into it. Well, at least I tried, but they tend to dry out quickly and stop working quickly, my tiny items. But it's okay. This has always happened. But it would add to the realism of actually with a calligraphy pen, although this is not a calligraphy pen, but that just adds to the realism of it. The fact that you have to use another vivid purple to get this thing to work like a marker. Okay, I better stop. That's the actual intended look. Wow, so pretty. When it's shimmering, sparkling ink. Same with the pen. The calligraphy pen looks like a plum, and it's meant to. And that's how it's looking like so far. I will need to cover on the bottle the messy knots with paper, and also I can use the red flower to close the bottle of ink, and it looks like a plum with a red flower. Good thing I thought about the red flower and how to use it, and what's the most practical way for the skill of it to be used. Okay, label and conclude the video. It's already lasting a long video. Glued on. Time to let it dry. And that's the finished ink and calligraphy pen and ink spill. Please tell me what you think of it. I was going to include a stop motion animation, but this video is so long that I've decided not to. Maybe next time, or in a YouTube Shorts someday. But please still tell me what you think of it. Oh, and bye, Szewczak. See you in another video. Bye.